Parthaya pratibodhitam bhagavata narayanena svayam vyasena gratitam purana muninam madhye mahabharatam Advaitam Britavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadhyayinim Amba Tvamanusandadhami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshinim Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhe Pullara Vindaya Tapatna Netra Yena tvaya bharata taila purna prajvalito jnanamaya pradipaha prapanna parijataya totra vetraikapanaye jnanamudraya krishnaya gitamrita duhe namaha Sarvopanishado gavo dogdha gopalanandanaha Partho vatsasudhir bhokta dugdham gitamritam mahat Vasudeva sutam devam kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Bhishma Drona Tata Jayatrata Jala Gandhara Nilotpala Sharya Grahavati Kripena Vahani Karnena Velakula Ashwatthama Vikarna Ghora Makara Duryodhana Vartini Sotirna Kalubanda Vairananadikai Vartaka Keshavaha Parasharya Vachasaroja Mamalam Gitarta Gandhotkatam Nanakyanaka Kesaram Harikatha Sambodhana Bodhitam Loke Sajjana Shatpadaira Haraha Pepiyamana Muda Bhuyad Bharata Pankajam Kalimala Pradvamsina Shreyase Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim Yat kripatamaham vande paramananda madhavam Yam brahma varunendra rudra marutastun vanti divyairstavaihi Vedai Sangapadakramopanisadar gayanti yam samagaha Dhyanavastita tadgyatena manasa pashyanti yam yogino Yasyantam navidussura suragana devaya tasmai namaha Om Mangalam Sadhu Veshaya Shishya Chitta Vilasine Vidita Khila Vedyaya Moksha Vigna Vighatine Saumya Kashi Nivasaya Deshikaya Viragine Chaitanya Nanda Rupaya Jivan Muktaya Mangalam Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahe Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahe Om Shanti 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 Shri Sadgurudev Maharaj Ki Jai. Good afternoon. Did you reach the top?
Yes.
Very good.
I ran almost all the way back.
Welcome back. Yeah, we went for a wonderful walk today, and some brave ones went even further than us. Yeah, very good. All right, so here we are. We are in chapter 6. We were discussing about meditation, about concentration. At the end of last class, we have seen Arjuna's question regarding concentration, telling Krishna that it is impossible. And Krishna said, Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha grihyate. You can control the mind by abhyasa, by constant regular practice, and by vairagya, dispassion, non-attachment. This is what we have seen last class. And now Arjuna has another question. This is verse number 37 of chapter 6. Arjuna uvacha ayati shraddhayopeto yoga chalita manasaha aprapya yoga samsiddhim kamgatim Krishna gacchati. Arjuna uvacha ayati shraddhayopeto yogachalita manasaha aprapya yoga samsiddhim kamgatim Krishna gacchati. Arjuna said, he who is unable to control himself, though he has the faith, and whose mind wanders away from yoga, what end does he, having failed to attain perfection in yoga, meet, O Krishna? Falling from both, does he not perish like a rent cloud, supportless, O mighty armed Krishna, deluded on the path of Brahman? Arjuna's question is very interesting. We have learned that we have to strive for perfection. We have to renounce the world. We renounce all enjoyments in order to attain liberation. And Arjuna is asking Krishna, you're asking me to renounce. Suppose I do renounce. I give up everything. Okay? And then I strive for perfection. But still my mind is not so strong and I'm not able to focus. And what to do? By the end of this lifetime, I'm not able to attain this perfection, to attain liberation. So I ended up neither with this world, not with liberation. I gave up everything, and then I didn't gain anything. I have lost on both sides. What will happen to such a person who strived sincerely? Such a person has the faith, he is trying, but what to do? His mind is not very strong and he is not able to attain liberation. What happened to such a person? And in verse 40, Krishna answers, O Arjuna, neither in this world nor in the next world is there destruction for him. None verily who does good, my son, ever comes to grief. Lord Krishna is giving us a promise here. He says, whatever effort you do counts. It is accumulated. Nothing is going to be lost. Whatever effort, whatever sincere spiritual practice you do is going to count for you, is going to follow you. No one who ever does good is going to get any bad result for it. This we know, right? This is the law of karma. If you do something good, the result is going to be pleasant. It's going to be beneficial. There is no doubt about it. Having attained to the worlds of the righteous and having dwelled there for everlasting years, he who fell from yoga is reborn in the house of the pure and wealthy. Now Krishna is describing what happens to such a person. Suppose all your life you did sadhana, you did spiritual practice, you tried your level best to help others, not to hurt anyone, and all this stuff. When you leave this body, you have accumulated a lot of merit. Now, when I told you the law of karma, I didn't tell you the whole picture. Basically, many karmas are experienced while we are in the body, right? While we have a body in this world. But then we die, and we reincarnate in another body, right? This already we said. But also between two lifetimes, there is a gap, there is an interval. There is a time between two lifetimes. And this is, in Sanskrit, it is called gati. Gati is the stage, intermediate stage between two lifetimes.
How do you spell that?
Gati. Yeah. And basically gati comes from the root gam, to go. So it is where you go, basically. It is going. This is the literal meaning. Now, according to this theory, during our lifetime we produce three different types of karmas, so to say. Some karmas are purely good, some karmas are purely evil, and in between we have a long range of mixed karmas. Right? Most of our actions actually are very mixed. We do something, it is very good, but it has also another aspect to it. From another angle, maybe it is not very good. You remember in the first couple of classes we talked about the Gita, and we said that in this life there is no black and white, everything is gray, right? We have always to choose between two evils, and this is how our life is. So our actions are always, most of the time, mixed. And this is responsible for our life, for this lifetime. This earth, we call it karma bhumi, is the place where we experience the result of these mixed karmas. But then there are these more pure karmas which are either purely good or purely bad. It's not maybe 100% pure, but it is karmas which are very good or karmas which are very otherwise. These we are going to experience between two lifetimes. This is basically the notion of heaven and hell in the Hindu tradition. What is heaven? Heaven basically is an intermediate state when you are experiencing your merit. The very good actions you did, you are now experiencing your merit from there. And what is hell? You are just experiencing your karmas, those karmas which were very, very unfortunate, they are bearing fruits in between these lifetimes. This is the idea. This is the way it is believed. Okay? And also, all those Vedic rituals that people perform are aimed to accumulate this good merit in order to go into what they call heaven, to go into this intermediate state where they can experience a lot of good karma. During these intermediate states, we don't produce fresh karma because you need a physical body for this. You need a physical body to create karma. This is the way it is explained, and therefore, in these intermediate states, you are not creating fresh karma, you are only exhausting your karmas. Okay?
Can you decide to stay if it's nice?
Yeah, so here is the problem. It is just like here, more or less. That's why yogis are not very interested in that. What is the problem? All year long you work very hard, you save a good amount of money, and then you decide to go on a holiday. You go to a nice place. Where is the best place in Norway for tourists? Tonsberg. So you go to Tonsberg and you check into the, what is the best hotel? Huh? To the, I don't know, to the, huh? Huseberg. And right there, you check in and you start your holiday. During your holiday, you enjoy your time. You go and you sail a little bit, and you go to the casino. I don't know, you have casino in or no casino? You go to the club, you go and drink, you do whatever, have a very good time. You enjoy your life very much. After 10 days, when you return to your room, you see a notice on your door. Please come and see reception. Okay? You go down to reception with the note. You said, you gave this to me, what do you want? They say, sir, we got a message from your credit card company that your balance is 0. You say, okay, I understand, but if you don't mind, it is so nice here, it is so good. I want to stay a little longer, just another week, if you don't mind. What are they going to tell you? Sir, please go, can you turn on the lights? Sir, please go, work again, get some money, and when you have some money, come back, we will be very happy to see you again. Right? This is the way it works. This is also the way it works. Yeah. This is also the way it works with our karma. We accumulate a lot of good karma in order to go to heaven. And when we die, we go to heaven. Heaven is like a very beautiful place, very wonderful, where we experience the merit, the fruits of the merits we accumulated. And guess what? One day this merit is exhausted, is over. And then, like you were asking, can I stay there any longer? The answer is, go back, get some more good karma, and we'll be very happy to see you again next time. Right? This is the way it works, and this is why yogis are not interested in it. It is temporary. There is no such a thing as, oh, you have been so good in your life, you go to heaven for eternity. You are good. Oh, you were bad during your life, you go to hell for eternity. Bye-bye. This is not working like this. Yeah.
So, would you say most yogis and people kind of practicing this tradition as monks believe in reincarnation, or are they more kind of saying that this direction gives a meaningful life, so that whatever it is with reincarnation, the direction and the philosophy for how to live your life on earth is so meaningful? So
I think that in the Eastern traditions at large, not only in our tradition, people do believe in karma. Swami Vivekananda, who was the first yogi who came to the West, and who was a very scientific-minded person, said once that he finds it very difficult to believe in it, but still it is the best theory that makes sense to him, even though it is difficult to believe in karma as it is. But it makes sense more than anything else. And I cannot speak for others. For me also, it seems strange, but at the same time it makes the most sense. And when we understand that the world is not out there is no world out there that I am entering into the world, existing for a while, and leaving it behind me. There is no such a thing. When we understand and accept that it is all the projection of the mind, this whole creation is nothing but the mind, then it makes much more sense. Then it sounds, okay, so where from it comes to the mind? Or it comes from my previous actions. My previous actions produced this. Just as I see, experiences I have in waking, I dream about them, right? In my dream, I see recollections from my waking time. How come? Because it leaves an impression in the subconscious mind. So these same impressions can also produce what we call external things, but they are not really external. It is all coming from inside out. So if we accept it in this way, it makes much more sense. And I think that the law of karma makes sense. And I will say something else. Even if ultimately it is not true, even if ultimately the law of karma is not the best explanation for reality, it is still good. Why? Because it is teaching us that we are responsible for our life. It is teaching us to take charge, to act in our life in a way that will bring greater good for everybody else and for us. So I say, even if I'm wrong, I'm happy. It is still good enough because it is taking me in the right direction. Now,
can you just give a short explanation about that? When you see a horse, I mean, just remember your lecture on the YouTube. When you see a horse, it's not out there, but it's only in your...
No, this is not our topic. I will talk about it some other time. No, I don't want to get sidetracked from our topic. Having attained the worlds of the righteous, and having dwelt there for everlasting years, he who fell from yoga is reborn in a house of the pure and wealthy. Krishna tells Arjuna, such a person who did sadhana sincerely during his life and did not achieve the goal, did not attain the goal, and passed away, such a person, first of all, accumulated so much merit, and therefore he or she will first go into this intermediate state and will have a very good time because of so much merit. But then when that merit will be exhausted, like everybody else, he or she will have to be reborn again. But this time, he is going to be reborn with better circumstances. That's the idea. He's going to get better chance. You see, look around you in this world, how fortunately we are. How many people in this world, in percentage, can say, okay, I'm going for 1 week to the mountains and sit there and do yoga and hear lectures. How many people can even dream about it?
1%.
Maybe. And even among 1%, 90% are not even interested, right? So, yeah, so we are extremely fortunate. How come? Why? Well, if we accept the law of karma, this is only because we accumulated so much merit in the past. This is because we practiced in the past. This is not the first time we are sitting and doing this stuff. This is not the first time, and this is what Krishna is telling Arjuna. But if you do sincerely your effort, next time your opening circumstances will be even more favorable. So he says you will be reborn in the house of the wealthy and the righteous. Why the wealthy and the righteous? The righteous is one who will give you freedom, who will give you right education, who will push you in the right direction. And the wealthy is the one, who can allow themselves to have this, right? If you go to India, to the slums, many people would love to do yoga, but they first of all have to think about their next meal. Therefore, Krishna says, you will be reborn in very favorable circumstances that will allow you to continue on your spiritual path. Or, he is born in a family of even the wise yogis, Verily, a birth like this is very difficult to obtain in this world. There is even a better birth, a better place to be born in, and this is into the family of a yogi. So if you accumulated a lot of merit, you will be reborn in the house of the yogi. There, he comes in touch with the knowledge acquired in his former body and strives more than before for perfection, O Arjuna. After that person is reborn in these favorable circumstances, he will usually grow like a normal child, will have some experiences, and then one day he or she will come across this knowledge, will see a yoga class in town and will decide to peep in, and then we'll start practicing, and then we'll hear about Vedanta and decide to go to retreat, and he will get in touch back with this knowledge. This is not a new knowledge. How many people come to satsangs, they hear this, and then they go back home and they forget all about it? But not you. For you it clicked, and therefore you choose to come here. It means you have some scars, you have these old memories. This is not the first time we are hearing about this knowledge. And therefore it clicks, and therefore it makes sense. So that yogi, in his next life, will come at a certain point, will come across this knowledge, and he will continue. And Krishna says, not only continue, he will strive more than before for perfection. This time, he will make even more effort than he did before. So we are continually growing. It is not that we are stepping in one place. Okay? By that very former practice, he is borne on in spite of himself. Even he who merely wishes to know yoga goes beyond the Brahmic world. Krishna says that the very effort you did in the past pushes you, despite of your effort to do otherwise, it pushes you into this path and it forces you to move on. And this is how we evolve. Okay? It all starts with a very little, but it continually grows, and it takes time. In chapter 7, Krishna says, Bahunam janmanam ante. No, this is, okay. Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapadyate vasudeva sarvamiti samahatma sudurlabha. The second part I have already chanting for you, but it says, Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapadyante. At the end of many, many lifetimes. Bahunam janmanam ante. Ante at the end of many lifetimes. Jnanavan, the knower, the jnani, the man of knowledge, mam prapadyate, is coming to me. He's realizing his own true nature. It takes many, many lifetimes. Okay? We need the patience. But the yogi who strive with assiduity, purified of sins and perfected gradually through many births, reaches the highest goal. In the previous verse he says, even if a person hears about it, that person is already on the path. He is going to be pushed forward. But if it is a yogi who really work on it, really do an effort, that yogi is going to very quickly to reach perfection.
Can I ask you one thing?
Sure.
Is it, I don't know about this, just a question, but if I'm supposed to do something like this path,
Yeah.
this is like my karma, but if I choose to not follow that path, that is like the free willing, this is my choice. It's a bad choice, of course, but I would do that.
Okay.
Is that dharma? Is it the difference between karma and dharma?
There is one teacher who said that once you are exposed this knowledge, it is like a nectar. But if you don't follow it, it becomes like a poison. because you cannot really leave it and go. Now you know. Now you know the truth. If you try to run away from it, you cannot. So you better be careful before you enter. But once you enter, yeah. Anyway, we have our choice, and we have to make our choices moment by moment. And if we choose not to do it, or to give it up, this is our choice. It will just take longer time. Ultimately, we will have to go this way. But it may take more time. Yeah.
So we touched upon this question about believing in the free will.
Yeah.
Is that something we can...
Okay, let's talk a little bit about free will. Okay? Is there free will? There are many angles to this question. Basically, when we talked from the law of karma, the answer is yes, there is free will. It is very simple, actually. Our prarabdha karma, you remember prarabdha karma? Prarabdha karma is that allotted karma which is planned for this lifetime. You remember we talked about it. Prarabdha karma is responsible for my experiences. My experiences are not my choice. I didn't choose to have my experiences. It is coming to me. But the way I respond to this is my choice. How do we call this? This is agami karma. You remember agami karma is my actions in the present. My actions in the present are the way I respond to my experiences. So somebody tells me, you are an idiot. So I can say, thank you. I can say, no, you are idiot. I can just keep quiet. I can do all kind of stuff, right? This is my free choice. And what I choose to do will affect my future. My guru, Swami Chaitanyananda, used to say regarding free choice, if there was no free choice, he used to say like this, if somebody tie you to a post, right? Bind you to a post and tell you go and bring water from the Ganga, because he used to say it in the ashram, we are right by the Ganga. If somebody tie you to a post and tell you go and bring water from the Ganga, can you do that? It doesn't make sense because you are tied. So it's in the same way, if there was no such a thing as free choice, why will the scripture tell you to do sadhana? The very fact that the scriptures are telling you go and do sadhana means there is free choice. So this is one good way to look at it. There are other ways to refer to it, which are a little more subtle. In Ramana Maharshi, for example, would ask, free choice for whom? Did you ever think about it? For whom is free choice? Is it free choice for the body? You're not the body. Is it free choice for the mind? You're not the mind. Is it free choice for the innermost self, for the Atman? The Atman is not a doer. There's no choice there. He's not doing anything. He's just witnessing consciousness. How can you talk about choice? So where is free choice? For whom? The whole question is based on this dualistic understanding that there is somebody and he is doing something and he can do something else. He has the choice. But all this is based on ignorance. From a relative point of view, from what we call mundane point of view, from this practical, everyday point of view, you say, yes, there is definitely free choice. I can decide to lift my hand, I can decide to lift my hand down. This is my choice. Now, scientifically, it is also very interesting because there were some studies done that challenged this idea. Because they measured They did this experiment. They connected people to electrodes to their brain, to the ECG, and they told them to lift their hand whenever they choose. They said, you just wait, and then whenever you feel like, whenever you decide this is the time, you lift your hand. And they did it, and they saw that you can see in the brain when they decide to lift the hand, and then they ask them how long it took you between your decision to lift the hand and the time you lifted your hand. And they saw that I don't remember, 4 seconds or something like this, before a person chooses to lift the hand, already you can see in the brain that the order to lift the hand is given. So where is the free choice? You think that you are deciding to lift the hand, but that decision was already taken. It is already shown in your brain. So this is a very interesting subject. There's all kinds of things we can say, but for us, for all practical manner, it makes sense that we have a free choice over our reactions. We don't have free choice over our experiences. And therefore we have to choose wisely. Okay? This is a little bit about free choice. Now, there was another question which I didn't answer yet. This is also regarding the law of karma. I told you about the Sanchita karma, this storehouse of all the karmas I have created in many, many lifetimes, right? And I said that as long as there are seeds there, I will have to be reincarnated again and come back again and again and again and again. And the yogi who wants liberation has somehow to destroy these seeds. Because just by stopping creating new karmas through karma yoga, it is not good enough, because still we have so many samskaras, so many karmic seeds from whatever lifetimes before, and it will take forever to exhaust them. So we need to find a method to destroy these seeds. How do you destroy seeds? Suppose you take... Sorry?
You stop giving them nourishment, you don't...
Yeah, suppose you take seeds and you put them in the ground and give them water and sunshine and everything. After 2-3 days they will sprout, right? But suppose just before you put them in the ground, you put them on the frying pan over the fire. Just roast them for 2 minutes. You still have seeds. They even may look the same. But then you put them in the ground, you give them water and sun, and you pray for them, and you do everything. Is anything going to grow out of it? No. Why? Because they are burnt. We need to burn our karmic seeds. We need a fire that can burn the karmic seeds. What is that fire? What is that which can destroy the karmic seeds? Karmic seeds are born of ignorance. We have said it before, right? Because of ignorance regarding my true nature, because of my identification with the body and the mind, I create karma. Therefore, karma is rooted in ignorance. Ignorance is the cause for karma. If we want to destroy the karmic seeds, we have to destroy ignorance. How do you destroy ignorance? How do you destroy darkness? But light, right? You turn on the light, you destroy darkness. If you blow away the darkness, will it go? No. If you push it, it will go? No. If you squeeze it, it will go? No. All you need is to light a little candle and the light is gone, and the darkness is gone. In the same way, if we want to destroy ignorance, what do we need? What do we need? Knowledge, right? What is the destroyer of ignorance? Knowledge. Knowledge is the destroyer of ignorance. Therefore, if we want to destroy the karmic seeds which are based in ignorance, what we need? Knowledge. Knowledge will burn the seeds of karmas. Because knowledge is that which allows us to realize the truth. It will burn, destroy these seeds. Therefore, in chapter 4, verse 37, on page number 100 in Swami Shivananda's book. Chapter 4, verse 37, page 100. Krishna says, as the blazing fire reduces fuel to ashes, O Arjuna, so does the fire of knowledge reduce all actions to ashes. Just like that, Krishna tells us directly, just as we explained. Just as fire is reducing fuel to ashes, like if you burn wood, you will get ashes. In the same way, if you have the knowledge of the self, it will destroy the karmic seeds. This is what we need. Okay?
So by knowing this, we are destroying the karmic seed.
Excuse me?
So by knowing this,
knowing the self, yes. The knowledge of the self is destroying the karmas. Yeah. Verily, there is no purifier in this world like knowledge. He who is perfected in yoga finds it in the self in time. You remember, yoga is the path of purification. It is a preparation. It purifies the mind and purifies the heart. But ultimately, what we need is Sankhya, that direct path, the path of realization, and that will destroy ignorance. Okay? So this is another thing I wanted to tell you. And then I wanted to go to chapter, okay, let's see, chapter 7. Verse 3 in chapter 7. Tomorrow we will go to chapter 8. Today we will do chapter 7. Let us chant it together. It is verse 3 on chapter 7. Manushyanam sahasreshu Kaschit yatati siddhaye yatatam api siddhanam kaschin mam veti tatvataha manushyanam sahasreshu kaschit yatati siddhaye Yatatamapi siddhanam kaschirmam veti tatvataha. Manushyanam sahasreshu. Among thousands of people. Kaschit yatati siddhaye. Maybe one, perchance, strives for perfection. Yatatam api siddhanam, even among those who strive successfully, kashin mam veti tatvataha, maybe one perchance know my true essence, know me in essence. This is what he says. In this verse, Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna that self-realization is very rare. It's very rare. Among many, many thousands of people, maybe few only even strive for perfection. Look around you in the world. How many people are really interested in this knowledge? Many people don't even know about it, but even those who know, they don't care. They say, oh, very interesting. And then they go and do something else, right? Very few really decide to strive, to work, to do something about it. And then he says, but even among those who actually strive, those who actually try, only very few are reaching the goal, realizing the truth. Now, why Krishna is telling it to Arjuna? In order to discourage him? No. But in order to encourage him. Sometimes people get into spiritual life, but they keep it just as a weekend hobby, right? We just, oh, I'm very spiritual. Every weekend I go do meditation and this. It is all good. It is wonderful. But it is very weak. You know, again, Swami Chaitanya, my teacher, said, if you want to be good in anything, you have to make it your passion. Right? If you want to become Michael Jordan, you know who is Michael Jordan, right? Yeah. If you want to become Michael Jordan, you have to sleep basketball, eat basketball, walk basketball all day long. It's not only when you go on the court and you throw the ball, you are playing basketball. Basketball is all in all for you. It is everything for you. Right? If you want to become a very successful businessman, all your life is business. Everything, you just see, oh, the opportunity in this. Oh, here I would do like this. This is a... Everything becomes a business. Then you will be successful. It is true for every field. See great doctors. All the life is just about patients and medicines and stuff. That's what they talk about. When doctors meet, they talk about that only. In the same manner, spiritual life, if you want to achieve the goal, which is the highest goal, it is higher than Michael Jordan, than all of these together, put together. It is the ultimate. It is also the most difficult one. You cannot get it by just, occasionally doing a little bit something. It has to become our life. But it has to come gradually. You cannot turn into a full yogi in one day. It doesn't work. I have seen cases, people do it. They just turn their life upside down. They change their diet completely. They practice hours and hours of meditation and asanas and everything and crazy stuff they do, and you say, wow, it is so impressive. I remember in particular, there was one guy who was corresponding with Swamiji, one American guy. I used to read his letters that he wrote to Swamiji, and I was so impressed. I couldn't do half of what he was doing. He was just, overnight he became, and Swamiji was not impressed. I had to persuade Swamiji to write him some answers, because Swamiji was not interested. And Swamiji, and I will come, and this and that. And suddenly, after 1 month, no more letters. Quiet. Then I was asking one day, Swamiji, what happened? He's not writing anymore. Swamiji said, no. Just a few days later came a letter. Oh, Swamiji, I don't know. Something happened. All my practice failed. I'm not practicing. I've fallen out. I don't know what to do. I cannot go back to it and this. Anyway, the guy left it completely. He found some other passion. Why he couldn't succeed? Because that was rajasic. That was out of rajas. We need organic growth. We need a sattvic growth. We will make small changes in our life, and we will slowly, slowly increase and make it organic, make it meaningful. We will find inspiration and we will make some steps. We will do a little more sadhana every day, and we will change a little bit our diet. We will try to do some service. We will cultivate bhakti. We will read some books. Slowly, slowly we increase it in an organic way, and that will grow, that will last, that will be very meaningful. But at the end of the day, it is important that ultimately it becomes everything, it becomes 100%. Yeah.
Question, if you take the Catholic Church where they have the monks that kind of live similar lives, what you see throughout history, at least in the West, is that often kind of, since they in a way try to control kind of the lower parts or desires, which some people will say are natural desires, then some stuff which is very unhealthy pops up instead, and make them do things which is kind of very far from the path they actually decided to go upon. How is your perspective on that part? Because it's a very tough challenge, you know.
Yeah. There is a difference between suppression and sublimation. Suppression is that you ignore your needs and you push them aside, and they remain under the radar. You don't see them, but they are there. They are accumulating, and one day they come out in a very ugly way. This is what happens in suppression. Yogis never advocate suppressions. You should not suppress your needs. You should sublimate them. How do you sublimate them? First of all, through understanding, viveka, discrimination, to be able to see what is the result, it is not serving me. That will cultivate vairagya. And then all the set of practices, the asanas, the pranayama, the meditation, all these practices, the devotional practices, they are all calculated in helping us to sublimate, to transform these, and rather than suppress them and ignore them. We don't want to keep things under the carpet. We will remove the carpet and deal with it. And we will transform it into higher emotions, higher expression. Yeah? It is, of course, easier said than done, but this is the idea. This is the idea, and this is one of the reasons why we need a teacher. Because a teacher is one who will be able to see when we are suppressing, and we'll be able to navigate it in a better, to channel it in a better way for us. But we can also see it in ourselves. If we see that something is building up, we can understand that we are suppressing, and we should just try to work with it. Yeah. Our time is up. We will sit for a moment and then conclude. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shri Sadgurudev Maharaj Ki Jai.